The night sky over Earth looked calm, peaceful. But far beyond the moon, something strange moved in the darkness. At first, the satellites picked up small signals, static, distortion, strange bursts of energy. Then within hours, the world saw it. A fleet, thousands of ships, each one the size of a city. They appeared from a tear in space, glowing, burning like fire against the black. It was not human. It was alien. The news spread faster than light. Across every screen, every phone, every radio, unknown objects detected near Earth orbit. Governments called emergency meetings. Scientists tried to decode the signals. Religious leaders called it Judgment Day. But deep inside, everyone knew humanity was not alone anymore. They came in silence. Then a message arrived, cold and metallic, broadcast in every language at once. We are the Varin Empire. You will kneel. You will serve. Or you will burn. The world froze. No one knew what to do. But among the chaos, one voice stood up. The United Earth Command sent a short message back into space. It said only 2 words: try us. That was the moment everything changed. The alien ships moved into attack position. Massive black shapes covered the sky. The sun disappeared behind their metal clouds. Cities went dark. Fear filled every human heart. But Earth was not as weak as the aliens thought. For years, humanity had prepared. Hidden deep under the oceans, inside mountains and on secret stations orbiting the planet, we had built defenses. Lasers, railguns, and energy shields powered by something new, something mysterious. A power source that no one fully understood. They called it Project Helios. When the first alien missile entered Earth's atmosphere, Project Helios activated. A wave of blue light spread across the planet, like a shield made of pure energy. The alien missile exploded in silence, miles above the surface. The Varin commander, Lord Kael'tor, watched in shock. No species had ever survived their first strike. No world had ever resisted. He ordered a full attack. Thousands of plasma beams rained down. The skies turned into fire. But for every alien blast, Earth answered with its own fury. Hidden cannons launched energy bolts into space. Fighter jets, small but fast, darted between the alien cruisers like angry insects. Humans fought with courage and desperation. From the International Space Station, a small group of astronauts watched the chaos unfold. One of them, Commander Lian Ortiz, whispered, "We always wanted proof we're not alone. Be careful what you wish for." Down on the ground, panic spread. Cities were evacuated. Families ran to shelters. But still, humanity did not surrender. The internet filled with messages of unity. We fight together. For Earth. For our home. In underground bunkers, scientists and soldiers worked side by side. Dr. Mira Chen, head of Advanced Defense Research, monitored the alien signals. She noticed something no one else did. The Varin ships were using a strange energy pattern, similar to something she had seen before. It matched the old data from a crash site in Antarctica, an alien probe found decades ago, kept secret from the public. Her heart froze. Human technology was partly built from alien tech. The Varin had no idea. Humanity had evolved faster than they ever expected. In the Varin command ship, Lord Kael'tor spoke to his generals. "How is this possible?" "They are primitives. They should not have this power." A young alien officer replied nervously, "Their defense systems. They are using our old energy patterns, but stronger." Kael'tor slammed his claws against the console. "Then destroy them. I will not be challenged by apes." But the humans kept fighting. Every city became a fortress. Every nation became one army. For the first time in history, humanity stood united, not as countries, but as one species. The first day of the war ended with no victor. Half of the alien fleet destroyed, half of Earth's defense systems in ruins. But one thing was clear. The Varin Empire had underestimated humanity. As the sun rose over a burning sky, Dr. Mira watched the alien ships retreat into high orbit. She whispered softly to herself, "They think we're weak. Let them think that." For now. In space, Lord Kael'tor stared at Earth's blue glow. His voice was low, filled with anger and disbelief. No one resists the Varin Empire. No one. But deep inside, he felt something strange, fear, because for the first time, the great conqueror had met an enemy who refused to kneel, and this was only the beginning. The first day of the invasion ended, but Earth was far from safe. The alien fleet still circled the planet like hungry wolves. Cities burned, skies were full of smoke, and oceans boiled with fallen debris. Humanity had survived, but just barely. In the ruins of old cities, people began to fight back. Soldiers, civilians, hackers, engineers, all came together under one name, the Earth Defense Alliance. It wasn't a government. It wasn't a single country. It was everyone. For the first time, humans forgot about borders and politics. They fought as one. Deep inside an underground base in Switzerland, Dr. Mira Chen worked day and night. Her eyes were red, her hands shaking, but her mind sharp. She was trying to finish something that could change everything. Her secret project, known only to a few high-ranking officials, Project Leviathan. It was a weapon unlike any other, a fusion of alien and human technology, built from the data recovered from the old probe found years ago. If it worked, it could destroy an entire alien fleet in one strike. But no one knew if it would work. Mira stared at the holographic model of the Leviathan core. It pulsed with blue light, alive, almost like it was breathing. She whispered, "You might be our only hope." Meanwhile, in orbit, Commander Liane Ortiz and her space squadron patrolled near the wreckage of destroyed alien ships. They had captured one, a Varin scout vessel, the first alien ship ever taken intact by humans. Inside, strange symbols glowed across the walls, and the air smelled like burnt metal and ozone. Liane's voice came through the comms, calm but determined. "Bring everything we can back to base. I want to know how these things think, breathe, and bleed." Back on Earth, morale was low. Power grids were failing. Food and medicine were running out. But still, people refused to surrender. Every night across the ruins, people lit small fires, a signal of hope. And in those flames, humanity's spirit burned brighter than ever. The Varin Empire, however, did not understand hope. To them it was weakness. Lord Keltor, sitting in his massive command throne, watched holograms of human resistance groups forming across the planet. He growled, "They fight when they should beg. They burn when they should kneel." His second-in-command, a younger officer named Velthar, spoke carefully. "Perhaps, my lord. They fight because they have nothing left to lose." Keltor turned his cold eyes toward him. "Then we will take even that from them." He ordered total war. The next wave of attacks began. Alien drones fell from the sky like black rain. They hunted humans in the streets, destroying anything that moved. But this time the humans were ready. From the mountains of South America, hidden cannons fired energy bursts. In the deserts of Africa, mobile bases used old satellites to jam alien signals. In orbit, Liane Ortiz's squadron used captured alien tech to turn the enemy's own weapons against them. Humanity was learning fast, faster than the Varin expected. In the underground lab, Dr. Mira finally found the missing piece. The Leviathan needed a specific energy frequency, one that matched the Varin's own command signals. If she could tune it right, the weapon could overload every alien ship connected to their fleet network. But to test it, she needed to get close, too close. Her assistant, Raj Patel, looked at her in disbelief. "You can't be serious, Mira, that's suicide." She smiled faintly. "We don't have time to be careful. If we fail, there won't be anyone left to save." She sent a transmission to the Earth Defense Command. "This is Dr. Chen. Leviathan prototype is operational. I need clearance for orbital testing." The response came almost instantly. "Clearance granted." "Godspeed, Doctor." In space, the Varin fleet prepared another strike. But as they powered their weapons, a strange pulse rippled through their systems. Keltor's ships began to lose control, lights flickering, weapons shutting down. He shouted, "What is happening?" And then from the darkness below Earth's shadow, a new shape appeared. Massive, glowing, human. It was the Leviathan, the first fusion-powered human warship. Half human metal, half alien energy. And it was alive with power. Keltor watched in shock as the Leviathan's main cannon charged with blinding light. Dr. Mira's voice echoed through the fleet's communications. "This is Earth. Leave now, or face extinction." And then silence. The Leviathan fired. A beam of light split the void, cutting through alien ships like paper. Dozens of them vanished in a single strike. The first human victory in space. But in the control room of the Varin flagship, Keltor smiled darkly. "Impressive," he said. "They've built a weapon using our power." His eyes narrowed. "Then let's show them what real power looks like." He turned toward his generals. "Prepare the planet killer. Humanity has just sealed its fate." And far below, Dr. Mira looked up at the burning sky and whispered, "This war is only beginning." The world held its breath. The Leviathan had fired once, and the stars themselves had changed. Across the planet, people watched in awe. Alien ships that once looked like gods of war now burned like falling stars. For the first time, humanity had not just survived. They had won. Cheers erupted in bunkers, bases, and ruins. Children pointed at the sky, shouting, "We did it! We beat them!" But deep inside the control room of the Leviathan, Dr. Mira Chen didn't celebrate. Her face was calm, but her heart was heavy. She knew it was only the beginning. The Varan Empire would not forget this. They would come back, and harder, faster, angrier, and they did. 2 days later, the alien fleet returned, bigger than before. Dozens of new ships appeared, armed with weapons the humans had never seen. These weren't scouts or raiders. This was an army. The true power of the Varan Empire. Lord Kael'tor stood on the bridge of his command ship, his eyes glowing with fury. They dared to strike us. Now they will understand what it means to defy the Varan. He raised his claw and gave the order, "Target their world. Burn it." Hundreds of plasma cannons powered up, their energy lighting up the dark side of the Earth. But as the alien beams fired, something unexpected happened. The Leviathan intercepted. Its shield flared bright blue, absorbing the attack. The energy rippled through its hull, growing stronger instead of weaker. It didn't just block the attack, it fed on it. Dr. Mira stared at the readings in shock. "It's absorbing their energy. The core, it's evolving." Her assistant Raj laughed nervously. "You mean it's learning?" "Exactly," she said softly. "It's learning to fight back." Meanwhile, Commander Leon Ortiz led a team of human pilots into the debris fields. They had one mission: capture a Varan command ship. Their small fighters weaved through wreckage, dodging alien drones and plasma fire. Leon's voice crackled through the radio. "Stay low! Stay fast! They can't hit what they can't track." Her squadron, known as Ghost Wing, had become famous for impossible missions. This time they succeeded again. They boarded an alien frigate, fought room by room, and took control of its systems. Inside the ship's data core, they found something shocking. A map, not of Earth, but of hundreds of other planets. All destroyed, all conquered by the Varan Empire. Earth wasn't the first to fight back, but maybe it could be the first to win. Back at the Leviathan, Dr. Mira decoded fragments of alien transmissions. One message stood out. It spoke of a weapon called the Sunbreaker, a device so powerful it could destroy a star. And Kael'tor was building one. In orbit around Jupiter, humanity had no choice. They had to strike first. The Earth Defense Alliance approved Operation Retribution. Every surviving human ship, every pilot, every soldier, united for one purpose: stop the Sunbreaker. As the fleet launched toward Jupiter, millions watched the live stream from underground shelters. Prayers, hopes, and tears filled every corner of the world. No one slept that night. In the cold void near Jupiter, the human fleet faced the impossible. The Varan defenses formed a massive wall of ships, protecting the unfinished Sunbreaker. Kael'tor's voice echoed through the communication channels. "You think you can destroy us? You are children playing with stolen fire," Dr. Mira replied calmly from the Leviathan's bridge. "Then let's see who burns first." The battle began. The black of space turned into chaos and fire, explosions, blinding light. Human fighters darted between massive alien cruisers, hitting weak spots and disappearing into debris. The Leviathan charged its core once more, glowing brighter with each passing second. But the enemy was overwhelming. One by one, human ships were destroyed. The fleet was dying. Raj looked at Mira, panic in his voice. "If we fire now, the core will overload." "Then we fire," she said. "Because if we don't, there won't be anyone left to save." She pressed the trigger. The Leviathan unleashed its full power. A wave of energy spread out like a storm, bending gravity itself. Alien ships twisted, crumbled, and vanished into glowing dust. The Sunbreaker's reactor exploded, tearing the space around Jupiter apart. The explosion was so massive that it could be seen from Earth, a new star shining in the night sky. For a moment, the entire galaxy seemed to hold still. When the light faded, most of the Varan fleet was gone. But so was the Leviathan. No one knew if Mira or her crew survived. Only static remained on all channels. Back on Earth, silence filled the command room. Then one radar operator whispered, "They did it." Cheers erupted again, louder than before. The war wasn't over, but humanity had turned the tide. They had faced gods and survived. But far across the galaxy, Lord Kael'tor was not dead. His flagship, damaged but alive, drifted among the wreckage. His eyes glowed brighter than ever. "You think this is victory?" he hissed. "You've only awakened something far worse." He turned toward the stars where Earth waited. "Now, humans, you will see the true face of the Varin Empire." And somewhere in the silence of space, a faint blue light flickered. The Leviathan, still alive. The battle near Jupiter had changed everything. The Varin fleet was shattered. The Sunbreaker was gone. And somewhere in the silence of space, the Leviathan had disappeared. But even in victory, humanity mourned. Dr. Mira Chen and her crew were missing, presumed dead. Still, their sacrifice gave the world something it had never truly known before. Hope across the planet. The words echoed everywhere. We can fight. We can win. For the first time, the mighty Varin Empire looked weak. Their perfect image of power cracked, and that crack spread across the galaxy. In distant colonies once ruled by the Varin, strange things began to happen. Slaves started to rise. Whole worlds rebelled. Aliens who had lived under Varin rule for centuries began whispering one name: humanity. To them, humans were not just another species. They were the symbol of defiance, the spark that lit the fire. Back on Earth, Commander Leanne Ortiz led what was left of the Earth Defense Alliance. Her once bright eyes now carried exhaustion, but her voice remained strong. "The Varin are bleeding. Now we finish what we started." Earth's shipyards worked day and night, building new warships using the blueprints left by Dr. Mira, smaller than the Leviathan but faster, deadlier. They were called the Seraph class. For months, humanity prepared for the greatest counterattack in history, Operation Retribution. Their mission: take the fight to the Varin homeworld and end the Empire once and for all. Far across the stars, Lord Kael'tor sat on his throne in the burning heart of the Varin capital. The room shook with riots and rebellion outside. Screens showed his own cities burning, his own soldiers turning their weapons against him. He had lost hundreds of worlds, not to power but to hope. Velthar, his loyal officer, stood beside him, voice trembling. "The colonies are breaking away, my lord. The humans have inspired them. We cannot hold them all." Kael'tor's eyes burned with rage. "Then we hold Earth. Crush their spirit and the rest will kneel again." He activated a hologram showing a massive weapon orbiting his homeworld, a huge ring surrounding the planet's sun. "The Starforger," he said. "It will burn their world from light years away." Velthar looked horrified. "But, my lord, if we activate it, our own system—" "Silence!" Kael'tor roared. "Let the galaxy burn if it must. The Empire will not fall." Operation Retribution began under a silent sky. Dozens of human warships, joined by alien allies who had once been slaves, jumped through space together. For the first time, many species stood as one army, the target Varin Prime, the heart of the Empire. When the fleet arrived, what they saw stunned them. A dying world, cities in flames, rebellion spreading through every street. Human and alien ships broke through the defenses, heading straight for the capital. Leanne Ortiz stood on the bridge of her ship, the Valkyrie, staring at the chaos. "Look at them," she whispered. "They destroyed themselves before we even fired." But then alarms blared. A massive energy surge appeared near the system's sun. The Starforger was charging. In that moment, something impossible happened. From the darkness beyond the planet, a familiar signal appeared on every screen. A faint blue light, a human voice. "This is Dr. Mira Chen. Leviathan online." Cheers erupted through every human ship. The Leviathan had survived. Damaged, scarred, but alive. Mira's voice continued, calm and determined. "We found a way into the Starforger's core. But we can't stop it alone. We need every ship to cover us." Leanne smiled. "Welcome back, Doctor. Let's finish this together." The final battle began. Human ships and rebel fleets charged toward the Varin's last stronghold. Laser fire painted the void red and blue. Explosions lit up the planet's skies like a storm of fire. The Leviathan dived straight into the Starforger ring, shields flaring. Inside his command ship, Kael Tor watched in disbelief. How, he growled. How do they keep coming back? Velthar turned toward him. Because they believe in something we never did. Kael Tor struck him down without hesitation. Belief is weakness, he shouted. But outside his empire was falling apart. Alien slaves he had ruled for centuries were now firing upon his ships. His once proud generals were surrendering. The mighty Varin Empire was dying, not from human weapons but from its own arrogance. Dr. Mira's voice echoed through the comms. Leviathan is in position, preparing to overload the core. Inside the Leviathan, alarms blared. The energy levels were climbing beyond safe limits. Raj yelled, If this goes wrong, the explosion will destroy everything, even us. Mira didn't stop. Then let's make sure it counts. The Leviathan's lights turned white-hot as it connected directly to the Starforger's heart. Kael Tor screamed in rage. No, this empire will never fall, Mira whispered. It already has, the Leviathan's core fired. A blinding flash swallowed the Varin homeworld. The Starforger imploded, taking the Empire's sun with it. And in that light, the Empire ended. For a moment the galaxy was silent. Then came a message, broadcast from the surviving human fleet to every world. The Varin Empire is no more. We are free. Humanity stands, and so can you. Rebellions erupted everywhere. Worlds once enslaved began to rise again. The age of the Varin was over, but the question remained. Had the Leviathan survived the final blast? No one knew. Only a faint echo remained in deep space, a whisper carried by the stars. For Earth. For freedom. The galaxy held its breath. The Varin Empire was no more. The Starforger had been destroyed. The homeworld was gone. The once mighty conquerors had fallen, but the war was not yet fully over. Far above Earth, orbiting debris and scarred battlefields told the story of months of fighting. Human ships drifted, battered but alive. And somewhere in the silence of space, the Leviathan returned. Dr. Mira Chen and her crew were alive. Exhausted, scorched by energy but victorious. Her first words as she appeared on the fleet's comms were simple. It's over. For them, cheers erupted across every human ship. Commander Leon Ortiz smiled, tears in her eyes. Welcome home, Doctor. You saved us all. But the victory was not just theirs. It belonged to every human, every alien who had been enslaved, every soldier and civilian who had refused to give up. In the Varin flagship, the last surviving members of the alien hierarchy floated in silence. Lord Kael Tor had vanished in the final explosion. Velthar, the second in command, tried to rally what remained. We can still rebuild. We can still fight. But the surviving ships were in chaos. Generals had turned on each other. Colonies no longer answered the command of the throne. The Empire was dead, not because of human firepower alone, but because it had lost the trust, fear, and loyalty of its people. Kael Tor's ambition, pride, and cruelty had destroyed them from within. On Earth, the world began to rebuild. Cities rose from ashes. Oceans reclaimed debris. But the memory of the war remained. Humanity had faced gods and survived. In Geneva, the United Earth Council held a ceremony. Leaders from every nation, every planet and every species freed from the Varin gathered. Commander Ortiz, standing at the podium, looked at the crowd. We did not win because we were stronger. We did not win because we had better weapons. We won because we refused to bow. We stood together. We fought for each other, and we will never forget what freedom costs. Applause erupted. Tears rolled down faces. Children too young to remember the first attacks cheered anyway, for the humans who had saved them all. Dr. Mira Chen, however, did not rest. She had learned much from the Varin technology, but one thing was clear. Power without purpose was dangerous. She whispered to Raj, "The Leviathan is ours to protect, not to rule. If we ever forget that, we will become the monsters we defeated." Raj nodded silently. They had survived the impossible, and now carried the responsibility of the galaxy's future. Across the stars, survivors of the Varin colonies began sending messages to humanity. We are free. We stand with you. Teach us how to survive. Humans had not just defended Earth, they had inspired hope. They had become a symbol. Even in deep space where the Varin remnants tried to hide, the Leviathan's signal spread. Every ship, every outpost received the same message: Do not underestimate humanity. It was no longer a warning. It was a promise. Months later, on a quiet night, Dr. Mira stood on a cliff overlooking the ocean. The sky was calm blue and peaceful. She could still hear the echoes of battle in her mind, the explosions, the cries, the light of dying stars. But she knew humanity had survived. And more than that, they had changed. Commander Ortiz joined her. "Do you think they will come back?" she asked. Mira shook her head. "If they do, we will be ready. But this time we will not just defend. We will stand tall. We will fight for freedom, for life, for every world that cannot fight for itself." The sun rose over Earth, a new dawn, a new era, and far across the galaxy whispers spread from one star system to the next. These humans, they do not kneel. They do not surrender. They fight, and they will always rise. The Varin had come to rule humanity. They had underestimated the spirit, courage and unity of one small blue planet. They had met their end, and humanity had risen.